Alright everyone, I have a working microphone. Hopefully it sounds good. I believe I have everything set up for the evening. I'm double checking. Okay. This if we have time or there's some interest. Hi. Eating some grapes. That's important. All right. Hello, everyone. How you doing? It is good to see you. Howdy to Heretic Trance, Ravenstar, Lucius, and Kragar, who are joining us. Although Raven is probably dipping shortly if she hasn't already, as I believe she's in the Saturday game. The Brisbane by Night. So that's a Vampire the Masquerade game being run by Lethality Complex, but Coffee Cat is hosting it on his channel. But it is nice to see you. Good to have you here. Tonight we are going to be, it's going to be a very laid back night. I'm not intending to go super in depth into a lot of things. We're not doing a role play workshop. Although, you know, we didn't make a lot of characters in 25. You know, that could be a fun thing to do to get back in 26. I don't know. We'll see. I really liked the methodology that I used for it. And it's not incompatible with D&D 24. It is just it would take a little bit of rerouting of things, but you know, that could be where we go. You know, just as an imagination exercise. You know, whether or not there's a game involved, but to go over character creation rules or just see who we come up with randomly. That's on the table, and I think that 26. These are good grapes. I think that 26 is going to feature I don't know, some growth in that regard. Ultimately, I do want to hear back from you all. The things that you like, that you have liked in the past and you would like to continue to see. The things that you haven't and would like me to stop. The hopes and dreams that you have for, well, you know, what can we do to do something fun, to be innovative, and to move forward. So we're set for this, um, with our upcoming Channiversary, and tonight is, I guess, it's kind of easing back into the presenter role, as I haven't done a lot of presenting in a while. Yes, I run, or I am running Cyberpunk. Last night was session 12. Oh, 12 episodes already. My gosh. And I ran Vampire, and I will run it again. Of course, there's Alien RPG that just got a touched up set of rules. I would like to run the intro adventure to that. So this year, soonish, I'll be recruiting people who want to. Hey, Hunter, good to see you. I'll be recruiting people who would want to play using the new Alien RPG rules. And after tonight's prizes, actually, Hunter, speaking of those who have prizes going out to you, I'll be, well, you know what? I'll just address that when we get to that point. You have about an hour until entries for the grand, the farewell entries, the grand finale, right? You have an hour until those are due, and then we'll have prizes there. And I guess leading up to that, I can even start with the autumn quarter the autumn quarter prizes that go into things. You know, a top 20 experience point holders in the channel, and at least one, maybe a couple golden goblins for that quarter, and then we'll start the winter quarter. All right. Well, hey, is it good seeing the workshop set up? Hopefully so. You know, this is the tried and true, very familiar bread and butter. This is where everything started in late January in 2018, and I felt it was appropriate to sit here. You know, we'll do some conversation, maybe video games later, but I want to go over some things because it's been a while since I've sat in this particular seat to present in this particular way to you all. Hunter, that is my computer. I have a secondary camera on the internals of the rig that I built this year. And so there's I'm using that as kind of a like a living background. And apparently I chose a good time, even though it wasn't a good time. I chose a better time to build a computer because when I was building it, oh man, there was shortages of all sorts of stuff. Still, it was frustrating trying to get parts, especially parts at a reasonable rate. Now there's the RAM issue, and oh my god, it's I'm glad I have the rig that I do now. It was fun to do and learn. And you know, Bane certainly helped out with some advice. And others chimed in that channel. In fact, that's going to be part of things cycling to get ready for the Channiversary here. Um, yeah, we'll get into that. So anyway, we have our website here. Hey, Rose Wolf, good to see you. Thank you for stopping by. And while we have an hour to get ready for the grand finale coloring book entries, not that there will never be coloring book pages again, but I think the idea has run its course. The participation has been very uh, lacking. And so, while some of you might find an interest in the scenes or think, hey, you know what, that's nice, and I appreciate that, even if you all do that to yourselves or quietly. Ultimately, it's something that I if I'm going to run an event with prizes, I want to see more people participate. Otherwise, I mean, by lack of participation, my feedback is people are just not interested in that type of event or an aspect of the event, even if the event itself is desired or fun. And after just getting just diminished participation, as things do, things wax, things wane. We go through cycles. Then I think it's time to retire that, and we'll look at something else. I mean, I look over here. I have my capsule machine as well as a part of things. Um, Heretic, it's well, Hunter, you have an hour. You have until 11 p.m. my time, and it's 10:04. But that's a part of the conversation too, Heretic. 2024 for the industry, for game stores, really for pop culture, and there's other things I think we could extrapolate it to, but I'm not this isn't the channel for that. 2024 was miserable, terrible. I mean, just waning interest in going to movie theaters, in bread and butter stuff like Dungeons and Dragons. And this isn't me blaming, especially none of you in the audience. I'm That was such a weird trend of, I guess, negative attention seeking, where you make something and then you blame the audience for not wanting what you're providing them like it's owed to you. That might sound a little weird going on the, well, the people weren't participating in the events, and that's true. I accept that. I'm not angry, and I don't blame anyone for it. We had fun with it, and just people are busy with other things, and maybe coloring book stuff is a little juvenile, or in the years now, because what the channel started in 2018. In the years that we've met, life changes for people. People move. People do some growing. Some people do a lot of things. They can participate more or less because their responsibilities in life, to their own family, or to something about work or education or whatever. Right? There's constantly moving parts. Tides come in, tides come out. It's perfectly fine in my regard. But 2024 was pretty miserable, and in fact, um, the world is not. Yeah, well, and then 2025 was better economically. There were signs of spring after the long winter. And pop culture, I don't think pop culture necessarily recovered, but they staunched the bleeding. Pop culture is a concept, is a broad thing of many parts. Uh, in my opinion, staunched the bleeding, and I'm really hoping in 26 here we're going to get back to things. And in fact, while we're talking about stuff, I'm going to bring up our Discord because we are discussing time capsules and the like. I am going to be closing. I'm going to be closing our resolutions. So if you want to put any resolutions for this year for 26, then list them, post them, and I hide this channel until around Christmas time. And then I'll unseal it, and we'll see if you were able to meet none, some, most, or all of your resolutions. In fact, uh, my 2026 resolutions. One, does this need to? Oh no, the text box is the text box is partially cut off just due to the crop and padding. But I'll speak as I type. One, primarily be 275 pounds by Christmas time. I've been going to the gym fairly regularly now since November. Um, Sometimes twice a week. I've though way more often than twice has been thrice. I go, I do some cardio, I lift weights, legs, arms, sort of general body. Um, and I've been doing that now for several months, and I'm going to continue to do that, especially as we warm up, and I'll be able to get on my bicycle as well, not just go to the gym, but I can actually go around town and do a lot more things there. Um, but I want to continue losing weight. I want to continue, becoming healthier and fitter. I would generally appreciate not having a heart attack and dying on the toilet. That's something that it's easy to lose perspective on, or give into, or have sort of a slow decline. And I'd like to think that I'm on the route to becoming healthier in that regard. So I have been hitting the gym since the beginning of November, and I've been consistent with it. So yep, resolution one. I want to beat 275, or less, or healthily less. Obviously, I have doctor's appointments and stuff. I talked to him about it by Christmas time. Two. You know, I've put channel goals in the past. Channel goals are in part out of my bounds. It's like a fisherman saying, "Man, I'm not going home until I catch 5 fish." Well, you can have the best rod, you can have fresh bait, you can be a seasoned angler, and you'll catch 4 fish or 0 fish, or you can't even go fishing to attempt it because a storm rolls in. Right? I'd love to hit 5K. Um, Thank you, Heretic. I'd like to hit 5K followers, but I can't say, well, I'm going to do that in a year. Twitch is, in my opinion, in a not ideal place. Um, its own identity, its own internal enforcement of conduct. Just Twitch alone is a very dangerous basket for all of one's eggs. And I do stream to a couple other platforms. In fact, I'm simulcasting right now, and we'll see what happens with that. Maybe that will help bring in more conversation, grow the community. But ultimately, putting a channel goal like followers is not something I want to put out there, because I have to ultimately accept that the platform of Twitch uh, is in need of revision, or it needs to die and be reborn, or it is on its way out and there's nothing really to replace it, or whatever. But I know that there's a lot of either burnout or people being fed up, or what we come to with things like the coloring book events, since Twitch has been on its popular rise. Probably since what, 2014, at least 2016, when really a lot of things were really picking up here. Um, a lot of people have also just moved on. This sort of stuff doesn't interest them. They don't have the time to put into it, or um, especially with economic issues that people have. They say, why am I giving these top streamers are millionaires. Why am I giving millionaires $5 a month? It's more now, but why am I paying them $5 a month to um, have a parasocial relationship with me, or to insult me, or despise aspects of my existence, or whatever, right? And there's just a lot of people too, like, hey, you know what? I love Twitch. I had never really had anything wrong with it, but it got me through high school or college, and now I want to save up for a house. I have a job, and just got to do other things, and I'm happy for the people I followed becoming millionaires or whatever, right? Um, but it's my time now, right? It's like the bucket scene in the Goonies, But this is my hope, my dream, and I'm taking it back. I'm taking it all back, right? There's just shifts in individuals, and then therefore broadly, because society can't exist without individuals, societal shifts, pardon, that we can see as a result of that. Um, thank you for lurking, then, Lucius. Now, That does mean there are things that I can control on the channel. I do intend to continue broadcasting this year. I will say that I had to do a lot of introspection. Either for my own time's sake or sanity. Uh, was the juice worth the squeeze? Do I want to continue doing this? Do I want to wind things down over the year? Do I want to just wash out? Do I want to quit or whatever? Right? I was weighing options, especially when things were super bad at the end of 2024, and then we kind of got a little better over 25. But accepting a lot of this, I do want to continue with what we've built over all these years, because I think as a community we've always been, we've had immature laughs, goofs, gaffs, japes, etc. But I think we've always had a greater sense of maturity. And so for those people who have um, that similar attitude, that similar take on life, or need for information, entertainment, critical thinking skills, maybe to have their thinking challenged by a demonstrable lesson that we perform in the workshop, or by I play devil's advocate to a lot of things. I'm willing to discuss ideas that that I may not like or support, because it helps rounds us out as human beings, right? As actually thinking people. So in that, I know that I can control the things that I present. And so resolution 2 is um, run. Well, I'll say in addition to continuing Night City 64, because that's a long-term Cyberpunk Red campaign. So I intend that our story, I mean, we'll see if the characters make it. The story goes on definitely into 27. But in addition to continuing Night City 64, I want to run um, at least the Alien RPG intro adventure, another VTM short story, and run a system that I haven't yet on the channel. That could be a lot of different things. That could be, I don't know, Power Rangers. That could be, well, I've run Call of Cthulhu, but maybe I run Delta Green, or maybe I run, um, I run something. I run a system I haven't shown off before. Maybe one we've talked to or referenced, but not that we've done workshops for or delved into. And then my third resolution, I'm going to put 3. Um, for 2026, something that is more controllable for me. I can wish for health, I can wish for wealth. Those are things that, in some senses, are completely out of my control. Um, what would be for a good third one here? I want there to be 3. Um, I could put things like, well, I want to play and not just run, but I already am. I'm a player in a Sunday like local game. Um, I don't think I have. I don't think I have any kind of travel goals. I would love to travel. It would be cool seeing more of you. I mean, whether you come here, I mean, Heretic, you've certainly visited my neck of the woods once or twice, and we can still do board games. Oh, you know what? That's it. Acquire a laptop for uh, for remote streaming gaming while traveling and actually continue the list, working from the store, and well, I guess a remote broadcast is remote streaming, and working from the store. Now, this isn't a Chromebook. When I'm talking about a laptop, I'm talking about this would be kind of a financial goal, saving up and spending a couple thousand, or if not all at once, find a good program like a firm or something where I can balance out payments over time in order to acquire a laptop, in order to be able to do these various things. So, ooh, well, Heretic, that is some salt in the wound, isn't it? Yeah, quite literally. So there we go. I have three resolutions. It's now in the 2026 resolutions channel. That I would like to. I want to see some personal growth, but by that personal loss, but it's personal growth. I want to have some, I guess you could say, professional growth by hosting a game that's not cyberpunk or alien that we've not run here, which means I'm not, if I do a D&D, even a short story for D&D, or I run a module, that's not going to count. And then acquire a laptop for remote streaming, gaming while traveling, and working from the store. That sort of stuff. The rig that I have and that you see behind me, this does that. This does that. It does it well, but I can't. It's not portable. I can't take it with me. Um, not easily. It's big. It's very heavy, and it's. I wouldn't want to drop it. I would very much. I would be dismayed if something happened to this rig. Um, but if I do get to travel more, maybe I can go to a. Maybe I can go to a distributor show finally after several years of not. I don't know. But we'll see. Now, 2026 improvements. If you all have suggestions for the channel for this year, things that you like, things that you don't like, things that you would like to see and I haven't done so, something I should consider doing. So maybe this format, this is what we've done for a while, and you've seen a lot of other people shift to a different way to present. Give me those suggestions. Give me that feedback, please. It doesn't have to be nice. I'm not asking for, for brown nosers or for people to tiptoe around me. I'm a big boy. I have thick skin. Um, and what I will do is at the end of the month, after the Channiversary, I am going to tuck this away as a time capsule. And while we review at Christmas time your all's personal resolutions, I use this as a checklist and reflection on what has happened over the course of the channel, over the months. Is this something I've been able to implement? And if not, why? Is this something that I've successfully done? And it might not have been obvious, but hey, here it is, and here's the results. Your all's feedback is important. I would love to. I'd love to spend more time with you all. You're here for a reason. I have a face made for radio, but maybe it's my voice or it's the way that I present, the things I present. Maybe I challenge you with interesting ideas, or I don't know, my weird sense of humor. You can't help but rubberneck at the cringe or something, right? But if there's something more and better I can do, tell me. Um, my ego is not fragile or bruised. If you go, Matt, look, hey, I loved what you did with tabletop RPGs all these years, but man, it would be great to go back and watch you play some classic RPGs. I had a small playthrough of Final Fantasy VII. It was the PC port of the PS1 game, not the remake. And I was providing commentary and I was comparing things to when I very first played it when I was less than 20. Clearly I'm in my 20s now. Um, if you want to see more of that, because that would be interesting, or you have just this hankering and a harkening back to, uh oh, uh oh. Welcome in. I'm going to give a shout out to Action Surge 5E. How y'all doing? What was going on at your actual or virtual tabletop tonight? Thank you for stopping by the Hero Zone. We're having a very chill night tonight. We have some prizes that are going to be going out to community members here shortly. We're doing a bit of a 2025 year in review as we're getting ready for the channel anniversary, the Channiversary coming up for the Hero Zone. Late January is the time when this channel first started in 2018. It's been a hell of a ride, and we're going over that. Hi, Armin. Armin is another a fellow streamer here. Paints minis, runs games, has awesome stories to tell, and of course, in the realm of fantasy, but even in reality, his profession can lead to a lot of cool insights, innovations, and things that you can really easily uh, apply into any of your games, be they fantasy or sci-fi. He has a lot of life experience in this to share. Added two of your favorite picks on Discord. My drawing PC is being poopies. Let's see. Oh yeah, hey Heretic, doing some unboxing and stuff. Absolutely, I'd love to do that. Yeah, you're very welcome. And I want to make sure everyone has a chance to make sure that they give Action Surge a follow, and I'm going to give you a shout out as well. Action Surge. Oh, a shopping session part one. Yes, the downtime. They're necessary. They may not be as high action. They may not be as high action as the BBEG fights, but they are very necessary. And it's a good way to explore personal lore for characters. How do they interact when they're not in a life or death situation? Lots of excellent time to imagine and develop characters there. So let's give Armin a shout out as well. So thank you. And what's going on? So I guess broadly, Action Surge. Well, tonight was a shopping episode, and those happen. Downtime or shopping. A lot of people I know, and this is me included, always have an infamous hot springs or beach episode as well to sort of break up a very tense moment. But please do talk about your channel, what's going on over there. I'm happy not just to give you a shout out, but I want to learn about what you're doing there. I when you all post when you go live, I have our Discord up here. When you all post that stuff here in self promotion, like I read this, I read your blurbs, I see what you're doing because uh, I I can provide recommendations. I can talk to you if you do come in on a raid, and I can help promote you as well. I'm fine shilling for friends. That's what friends do for each other, and shamelessly at that. So yeah, if any of you are over on our Discord, if you go live, or even if like Armin, if you are participating in something that was going on at Action Surge, you're welcome to post their go live notification as well. It doesn't have to be just from you being the streamer or whatever. Let me just as a DM, GM, or ST needs to be the biggest fan of his or her players and their characters. Let me be your biggest fan as well. Um, so yeah, we're over here. We're doing a year in review. We're wrapping stuff up from 25 as we approach the Channiversary. We have our grand farewell here of the final consistent coloring book event. So this was for Christmas time and New Year, based around the concepts and themes in the Christmas waltz, and in particular, I really like the Frank Sinatra version. Um, and if you're new around here, for a long time, I've had our mascots get together in various ways. They're posed and clothed in doing different things, and through a program like MS Paint, you can download the blank and color it in. Make sure your Discord handle is on it, and then I've handed out so many prizes over the years, minis and dice and more, for people who have spent a little bit of time to participate in these fun seasonal or thoughtful pieces. Just it's a thing to do as a community, right? It keeps you active. People who want to do it will do it. People who don't. It is what it is. But after years of doing this, it's time to wrap this part of community outreach. Unless for some reason a lot of you are just hankering, like, oh my gosh, I finally unfrozen after 24 and 25, and I'd love to do this. Yeah, I'll still find cool stuff. I have, as I said, I don't know if you could hear that. That's the capsule machine, and I have a lot of prizes, bigger prizes that need to go out too. So maybe we can have some sort of end of 25, beginning of 26, all prizes must go capsule drawing, like a big capsule event. We're celebrating the end of the coloring book stuff, and we could. I have a lot of stuff from the office. It needs to find a new home. I can't have it in my basement. I can, but I don't want it there. It's not doing me any good. If my dice are in the basement, I'm not rolling them, and I don't need to roll them because I want you to roll them. And welcome. Thank you very much for that follow. I super duper appreciate it. And this is this like dialed, like wild, or the Dane, or if I should just call you Dane or the Dane. Welcome and thank you very much for that follow. That does bring us closer to I guess, an ultimate 5K goal. I'd love to hit that this year if possible. There's still a big storyline event, quote unquote, I'll run. But anyway, so we have these pages. In about a half hour, I'll be closing entries here in the farewell entries. And yeah, we'll be. I have prizes that are ready to go out. We see that a lot of people have gone in here. They've given their own personal touches. These don't have to be lore accurate to how the mascots look. This is just a chance to, I don't know, be a kid again, have a little fun or something, right? But we have our grand farewell. The rigged capsules is the event, because I have this now. It's just at home base, with a bunch of prizes that can go out, and maybe I can run that. But anyway, yeah. So get your 2026 personal resolutions in. This time capsule is sealed tonight. And if you have suggestions for the channel that you want to see for this year in 26, leave them in 2026 improvement, and I'll be happy to go over things. Now, as a part of the cleanup, thanks for having me. Dane is a-okay. I realize convoluted username, but yeah, that it's like wild but dialed. Okay. Dane is a okay. Yep, no, you're fine, dialed. Cool to see the impressive artwork from what I assume is your community. Uh, and there's a hi Mage, good to see you. There's a lot more. That's going to be part of the tour as well. So yes, get your resolutions and channel improvement suggestions in, and as well as your farewell entries because I'll be closing this in about a half hour. Um, we made that up. Now for the years, I was telling y'all for years and years and years, there's been a lot of art around the mascots, and the mascots themselves are the ideas that we've come up with. This has all been organic growth. This has all been a part of just who we are and the ideas that spring up over time. And so mascot art goes all the way back to the very first ideas for the different mascots. We had the two, and then others found their way in as we found niches for ideas or things that could be represented by a mascot in various ways. The old channel name, of course, and you can see these ideas start coming to life and the things that we did as a community to have that happen. So the Gallery of Heroes category is a museum of all the years that we have been creating together. We've been refining ideas as you all have been refining your talent and your art and your storytelling and building your collections and expanding your repertoires and all of this. And so I've reached out and I've contacted so many different people and I've got to meet a lot of people. And we have our seasonal art, which also goes back, and it's offset for the reason that it is mascot art, but these are things that mark the passing of time more than just the idea of a mascot and who they are and what they do. There we go. There we are. All right. So even all the way back to August of 2020, we had these summertime takes on the mascots here, and everything's PG-13. I want to keep it, family friendly in that regard. And so we had a Thanksgiving piece. This is when we had our first four mascots. A nice New Year's piece. Then we had our very first memorial. This was for the third anniversary, and this was looking back at all the things that happened. We have our mascots, of course, that had been developed over time. These were our prize boxes. Because when I was broadcasting here, if you weren't around in those years, man, we had boxes of minis that were moving and going out to you all sorts of stuff. There were hints of what this prize goblin character would look like. There were hints at what was going on in the years long D&D like 0 to 20 campaign that we were running. Um, all kinds of neat stuff, and you'll see that over time. By the way, even though that these are from a few years ago, y'all are still welcome to print these out, either in printable pages, or as singular. That's what these are for. You like giving out hokey Valentines, or you have a nerd in your life that you wanna have a cheesy joke to, then there's these. So time passes, seasons pass. Um, there's people have a lot of fun. For whatever reason, this seems to be a popular, very sentimental piece among people in our community, and it's just supposed to be that passing of time, the things that we value, the things that we enjoy, which is backed up also by our pillars of the community, and that's forgiveness, generosity, togetherness, and understanding. And you'll see that each year, this is a theme that gets recycled. Another New Year's piece, fourth anniversary. Here's everything that happened. A lot of references. If you weren't here for it, that's fine. You might still enjoy it as, oh, this is kind of random. In fact, here's a familiar. Oh, he's not showing up on the blow up here. Um, there's a very familiar red bearded fellow over on the side who's just off screen over here. Pardon me. And the spoilers are here if you want to read about the things that happened that year. So we continue down. There's another round of Valentine's cards, another Thanksgiving passes, another set of pillars. You know, we're coming into January 2023, and then we have our fifth memorial. There was a lot of travel. You know, we saw people. We went to places. You know, we did a lot of stuff with BattleTech. We have our Canadian friends that we've met along the way. You know, the big reveal of the prize goblin still hasn't been there quite yet. We had the end of Chroma Company, and then Rebirth was just starting up, so we're saying goodbye there. And so we go through all this. That is awesome. You know, we have our pillars. We focus on the things we focus on, and then 2024 hits. And man, if 2024 didn't feel like an old, broken down, haunted, decrepit arcade, um, where things felt like they were barely working, things felt dim and dark and miserable. We were walking on eggshells in pop culture. You know, there was everything was very contentious. Um, things things felt like they were out of order. I still did a little bit of travel, which is what that's referencing, and we still did a lot of, you know, we still were able to meet some people, but man, if this wasn't the mood of that year. And then there's a light mode if you want to see that, and then the zoom ins on everything that's there and the spoilers. So we go into it. We had our appreciation of Goth Day, so each of the mascots were dressed up as goths, and we come here to I'm sorry, that was the 23. Technically, I don't know why I had, but for 2024 then, uh, this was I had all these wonderful color composition pieces, and my usual channel artist, I said I'm not letting you go. I'm still getting art. It may not be as much because I need things to recover. But we went with a very black and white. We went with the kids menu. We're keeping things simple. We're still trying to have fun. We're doing what we can with the budget that we have, and so the memorial, and this is filled with all the stuff that we did for the year. It wasn't like a dead year per se, but it wasn't as bad as 2023. 2024 is very budget conscientious, and so we had that. And now we get into the end of 25. We have our brand new pillars, renewing us and reminding us of who we are, the values that we believe in, providing some introspection because along the way we each stumble, we each need support from each other. We say things or do things that are cringy or regretful, or we miss opportunities to say or do things. And hopefully, by having these little milestones, at least at the end of every year, it provides a chance for all of us, me included, to do some reflection. You know, how did we get through the year? How did things go? Are we better people for it? Are there mistakes that we could learn from along the way, or are we actually patting ourselves on the back for not stepping into some sort of a, like a bear trap that snagged us and bogged us down or something? And that is going to lead us to. I'm going to show you a preview, and I'm going to talk broadly about the concept of our memorial for 2025, which 2025, as we're seeing, this has been a little brighter year. You know, we're not out of the woods yet with issues regarding pop culture or corporate culture. You know, there's still tension that a lot of people have about different things with personal or professional life, public or private entities. But 2025 was a little warmer, was a little bit more colorful, was a little bit brighter. And so you're seeing that reflected here because I want it in the record that everything isn't doom and gloom all the time, and it happens. I'm going to pop us over real quick to our site, and this is the concept sketch for the Memorial of 2025. I don't know if there's anyone that you might be able to necessarily identify yet, but there's a lot going on here. And as you can see, there's a general theme of building or rebuilding. A lot of people being busy, a lot of people creating. A lot of this, we're not in a haunted arcade anymore, or we're not, at a shoestring budget wits end where things have to be a black and white kids menu anymore. And so you all are getting a nice big like portrait presentation of all the memes and memories, the people we've seen and colluded with and everything are going to be here in this much more positive, this much more growth oriented piece of art that is showing us emerging into a springtime of 2025, and hopefully we'll have a nice bountiful and hopefully long summer of 2026 and beyond. I'm not going to do like a countdown from 5. There's a lot here and there's almost no details, but you can get an idea for what you're going to be seeing at in a couple weeks. Actually, wait, it's the 19th. It's the 17th. So yeah, in 2-ish weeks, week and a half maybe. And just as much as there has been a refreshing of things, a renewal, I'm going to show off a little bit as well because the mascots have gone through a process. This is not final. I would still say this is work in progress, right? These are WIPs, WIPs, works in progress. But you can see that the mascots are getting tuned up a little bit. They're getting official reference pages so that going into the future, as I continue to ask Dan, the usual channel artist, to produce more art and others, I can provide these these style guides, and they'll have color palettes and everything with them. But as you can see, the mascots are getting a bit of a touching up, a little refreshment, and a more official presentation. So there's a lot coming up. And for friends new or old, I don't want you to dismay. I don't want you to think that the stories and hobbies that you've enjoyed are dead. There are certainly entities that have tried to squeeze them for every drop that they're worth, but our stories and our characters are still in our hearts and they're in our minds. And what we do here, I will shill for my friends. I will not shill for a corporation. I owe D&D, Wizards of the Coast, to Hasbro. I owe them nothing. They've never paid me for things. I've never been an influencer of theirs. Um, and even for companies that I have worked with, in fact, our Talsorian Games, who I'm currently running a Cyberpunk Red. I was reached out to by someone in their community, talking about, hey, if you're an influencer, here's this, and have you thought about using Demiplane and all this? We'll provide you some stuff there to go over. And I said, hey, I really appreciate it. Just so you know, if I like something, I like it, and if I don't like something, I won't like it. And while you haven't asked me to give a glowing review, else you're gonna, pull back any kind of payment or whatever. Not that I haven't been paid, at least not in cash, by R. Talsorian. They unlock digital assets on Demiplane for me to play around with. But that's been about it. And there's been, I've accumulated the grumbles of players about Demiplane, and I've used Demiplane now for Vampire and Cyberpunk. But I told them straight up, I'm going to be a straight shooter with you. If I like something, I like it, and if I don't, I don't, and I'll tell you. But I'm not gonna do this. Everything is nice and bright, fluffy, puppy eyes, rainbows and butterflies. About how everything is so awesome. Speaking of Legos, right? Everything is awesome. There are certainly days and products and companies that where things are awesome, and there are others where things are not. They're contentious, or they are misanthropic. They're exploitative, or they are uh, they are captured in some way through investors, culture, ideology, whatever you name it. There's no one problem nor the silver bullet to fix the problem. A lot of it is layered, and our Talsorian games, like the person I spoke to responded, and he said he totally understands and he's fine with that. He unlocked that, and he wanted me to play in the playground and give feedback on it, and I have. So, um, it's it's been a very fun year. It has been a year of growth, and I want to continue that in 2026. And I hope that you see by these works in progress that things haven't slowed down or stopped. There's not been any sort of a death in the spirit of who we are and what we do. We're going to continue it. And dialed, if you like the art here, if you're new to the Hero Zone, you like the art, you like the conversation and the vibrancy, you'll see more of it, because this is a part of who we've been for the longest time. So if we go back to Discord here, we've had the seasonal art, and of course the memorial will get posted. And finally, we have our Liber Colorum, where our the last entries will be posted, and you can go all the way back. Holy moly! We're still scrolling. All the way back. So 2020 was when a lot of the big art was being pushed. Now a lot of investment into the channel. A lot of things were going on because we found each other. We were building something that was really exciting. All these they're free to download, play around with, or just have fun. But you can see art changes over time. The way that we celebrated Halloween, the concepts around the end of the year, all of this was supposed to be a little hint at what the prize goblin would look like, because we didn't have that event yet. And so over the years, we've grown, we've done a lot, and uh, we also had some pretty fantastic events together too, by way of the Tiamat event, both of them. In fact, that'd be a fun thing to review as well, since we're having this little bit of a flashback. Because if we do get to that 5K, whenever it happens, doesn't have to be this year. I don't know. We'll see. I want organic growth. I've never paid bots. I report every viewer bot that shows up in chat. So hopefully they get kicked off the platform. And I want the slow organic growth. I want us to have meaningful connections, right? But maybe we can review the big stories that we've done in the past, and that could be a little bit of a teaser as to what would happen at the 5K mark. A big storyboard thing. I'll make a fun little animatic out of it. Although I don't think I'll have a coloring event as we've seen here, as this story featuring, well, you're the placeholder, the YCH, the your character here, you all went along on this ride with the mascots through this story challenging Tiamat. Pardon me. But anyway, so we've gone through a lot of growth and story and character and art. And the Liber Colorum will not close forever here in 5 minutes when entries for the farewell closes. I like, I would like to at least on Halloween. On Halloween, we'll do these blank pages. Now, I may not necessarily have an event around it. Maybe once a year is enough where people are like, hey, you know what? It's once a year. We're kind of memeing on stuff for the year, like the whole Cracker Barrel fiasco with our country Goral here. Or movies that have come out. So Fantastic Four. Played a lot of Phasmo this year, so there's our Phasmophobia. Just references to a lot of things. Here's our Totally Not Chicken Jockey. So Halloween of 2026, I'm going to make the characters do something silly or referential or fun. That's part of the Halloween spirit. But I think that's where we're going to see any other entries, at least for a while. While I think of other ways I can interact with you, and we'll run a fun event. The giveaway, Osaka-chi. So tonight, because I'm a little under a month late for closing out the fall quarter. On a quarterly basis, I look at the top 20 experience point holders of the channel, and one person wins a prize. In this case, it'll be a handful of D&D minis, because I still have a lot of minis left over from the office before the move. And also, I look at people who are golden goblins. And my golden goblins are people who have been generous with sharing their money with others, and that could be in the form of boosting the server. And hey, if you have some Discord server boosts available, we're six shy of getting some fun little extra enhancements onto our Discord server. But on a quarterly basis, for those people who've spent time and in their own money, supporting it, keeping the Discord tier 3 for better video and audio feed, for our role playing games, and for that sort of stuff. It's a thank you to those who've gone out of their way in order to make the community a better place. Thank you, Bane. Bane is a golden goblin. So yeah, every quarter there's one person in the top 20 experience point holders who will win a prize. And there's at least one golden goblin, if not more than that, just depending on how generous people have been. Similar to for the entries in the coloring book pages, I would always provide more prizes if more people had entered, so that there's scaling. So it's not like, I'm never going to enter because I won't win because there's 10 people who've entered. Well, that's fine, because then I would provide a second prize in that same category in that case. But yep, we're going to close out the coloring book stuff, move on to some other fun type of event. And also, over here, in the welcome, as you read through, a lot of this might be boilerplate, and perhaps at some point in time, I need to get onto the back end of the server and adjust some things. I think I'm going to add a Phasmo role for people who want to play Phasmo or other video games with me as well. But there's a fun little adventure. A lot of this might be boilerplate stuff on welcome to the server. Keep things PG-13. Don't be an a-hole. That sort of stuff. Contact a moderator. But I have it here so people look through it, and there's no excuse to not. You can't say, well, you why are you telling me not to drop F-bombs every other word? It's because it was here in the welcome screen, and everyone goes to the welcome screen and gets a private message on joining, kind of giving a reminder. So you can click through. Oh, Sierra, thank you. You can click through and choose to be an archivist. And as an archivist, you have access to all of these channels that probably aren't showing up: the 2024 content archive, the 2023 content archive. You can go back in time and see all of the events, the memes, the coloring book entries that people made. So if you want to see their artistic talent, you go back in time enough too. And this could be something I bring back in 26. We had little word adventures. Was this? Yeah. So I would post pictures. I'd post two pictures, and I challenge. And there was no prizes for this. I would challenge people to write some kind of short story that involves aspects of the two pictures. Right? It was a creative writing challenge, and it was uh, it was what it was. It was for fun. There was no prizes. Every week would be a new um, every week would be a new prompt of something, just to get you thinking, get your writing. But all of this here is all of this is here as an archivist that you can look through and see what we did before and what were we thinking back then. Yep. So we did things about quotes. We did one word adventures. Oh shoot! I had the background music off. There's supposed to be a sound with that. Um, but so here, special rules, two words at a time. So I offered a prompt, and then people would have to reply back. And it was sort of a word building exercise among everyone who wanted to participate. Maybe bringing this sort of stuff back would be fun as well. If you're feeling in the writing mood, or you want to have if you'd like your brain challenged in a good way, in we call it eustress, EUSTRESS. That's the good stress, not the bad way. But these were just little writing prompts, and people participated, as they did. So, but that's what Archivist does. And then if you want to be notified when I go live, or if something comes up that is not an emergency, I very rarely blow the horn of everyone, of at everyone. But if you just want, hey, you know what, I've gone live or something, then you can react with the eyes, and then you could see what's going on. What's hey, this is changing up on the server, or this is tonight's broadcast. Um, so there's this. I'll probably add a Phasmo roll, clean some stuff up. Um, Bane, I don't know if you're very familiar with the bot that I use, but I might need a little bit of help understanding a couple things with our unseen servant at some point too. In fact, maybe in the resolutions here. Let me go to these real quick. I can also add learn how to operate fantasy grounds. Yeah, exactly, dialed. And so things as things come and go over time, interests wax and wane. The community sure has grown, but also shifted over time. And so maybe dusting off some of these older ideas are are a good idea unto themselves. Um, and if there's new ideas, let me know. You don't need to just have me catalog something in our improvement channel. Y'all can just talk about it in chat. You can send me a private message if you think it's something uh that is more suited for a direct message. Um, but let me know. I'm ultimately here to uh oh hey, we have our hype chest. Thank you to all of you who participated in that, by the way. Um, yeah, ultimately here we're here to spend time together. We're here to think together. I don't like telling people what to think. I hope that I've not done that. Instead, I just want to encourage people to think, help give them tools to think differently. Not even to change or challenge their worldviews or the things that they enjoy, but maybe they can find new life by looking at things from a different perspective. The same thing that they enjoy from a completely different angle. Oh no, heretic! Oh, look at that sad choo choo. Oh my goodness. Although mine's very, I have a very sweaty, I have a very sweaty one. All right. It is 11. All right. Entries are closed. Uh, Feel free to share any more that you wanted, but only the above will count towards the event. All right. Well, let's see. We have four categories for this. Let's see. Do we have at least four individual people who have entered? Because that was the thing I ran into really for the past 2 years of 2024 going into 2025 is I would have more categories than entrants, and so everyone won because only two people would enter, right? So we have Heretic, Karma, Castle. Although Castle lives abroad and has indicated prizes he wins would go to other people. Um, so we have Kragar, Killer Ravens, Hunter, and Batispada. That's six. Usually there would be the dice that I'd roll to determine in each column. So there would be at least one more prize than there were entries. Just it's sort of like a runner-up for someone who might not have won something. In this case, there are six individuals. This is the grand farewell. Is it as many people as I had hoped? No, but you know what? Uh, I will award a handful of minis as prizes to people who've entered. Now let's go over things here. So Heretic is going for physical media. There's the handle, so it's a legal entry, and I really enjoy the frost. The frosted window panes. Uh, candles gleaming inside. Uh, I like what you did, and especially uh, I presume you meant it, and if not, it still came across this way, Heretic. I like that you made Oz outfit actually look like a potato sack, like a burlap sack, and that I can see the wood grain because you used different colors in the window frame here. I really like that. So thank you for taking that little bit of extra effort for doing something like this. Now Karma, and Karma's name is down here, so we're good. Is there a way that I could get this better centered? I wonder. I guess that'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. So we have Karma's. Look at this. Karma illuminated the the lights on the gross Christmas sweater. And I think this might have been a study in light because look at the illuminated eyes, and then the shine on the goblin. on the prize goblin. So Maureni looks happy, Prizzy looks happy, and you see the glistening snow behind him as they're ready to set off some fireworks for Christmas or especially New Year. Now Heretic Trance is coming in and offering the colored pencil version, and I like your shading. Um, Yep. So we have it in the wings, on the sweater here with the goblin, like on her tracksuit and everything. She's probably on a little bit of a fitness journey too. And I'm not just talking about fitting this bag of potato chips, in the old container. Because hey, she and I are alike in that we do enjoy snacks, but it has also led to a similar condition. So the mascots are representative of perhaps just a little bit more than ideas. But I love the color use and even beyond things like the texture or the shading, the texture that the physical media gives. Like I can look at this and I can feel this. I can feel the page. It's really nice. And so of course you had your name on there, so that counts. So Castle Rivacheg here also entered. He has his name, and you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be an expert artist. All of these are meant for you to be able to load into MS Paint and spend 5 minutes clicking around with the fill tool. It doesn't have to look perfect. It is clear that Castle made a reasonable attempt to color this picture. Different computers or different programs will have different tolerances, which is why you might get that kind of feathering. There's no penalties for that here, and it's not even a participation trophy kind of a thing. I just want people to make a reasonable attempt. You know, oh, hello. I don't know if you heard him. He says, "Meow, hello, I'm here, Bubba. Where are you?" Kragar enters the scene here, and his name is on the prize capsules. So good. That's part of the requirement. This is very much a reasonable attempt. Oh, look at that bronze skin. My goodness. Uh, you love to see it. Name is in the top left window. Ice. Oh, yep, right up there. I'm glad he pointed that out. That is very frosty looking. Solid colors here. Plays in the greens. I like the warm glowing in the back in the fireplace. Absolutely counts. That's a good entry. Derp didn't need to re-upload again. Forgot a speck of white. Oh, look at this. So Karma does a lot of playing around with these sort of I don't know what this would be called, like a filter, an application, like a layer of some sort of pattern or texture. She did a great job with the vest and the dress here, and playing into the light, especially across Carrie Dismuth's copious abdomen. By the way, this was supposed to play into Hallmark movies where you have the simple country girl, being approached by the big city guy, during a heartwarming Christmas time. This was supposed, while it plays into the Frank Sinatra song, the Christmas Waltz, the image was supposed to play into the Hallmark movie stereotype. There's, I really do try to put a lot of humor or references, little Easter eggs that if you look hard enough, you'll find them. And if you don't, that's cool. It still is what it is, but you can look a little further. And so if none of you got the Red String of Fate or the Hallmark movie style reference, because look at the, look at the hair, like the very overdone hair. You got the city slicker with the suit, and you got the simple country girl. She has her hair up in a bun. That was supposed to play into that whole idea. Um, And then Killer Ravens comes in by dropping all four with the KR. He's done that before. That's fine. It matches his online presence, and that's what I ask. You know, it was a reasonable attempt, and definitely a reasonable attempt was made. So we have our four entries here. When you all actually go off palette, off the official colors of the mascots, I'm delighted. I love seeing your all's takes on the mascots. Whether it's in that particular presentation or if you've consistently presented them in some way, like the griffin being red as like a cardinal or something, or in this case here we have Yedna, the barmaid, the proprietress of the Tumbled Wench. She is working on her tan because she's a bit of a snowbird right now. Here we go, strong cool colors to contrast against the red. And this still, you know, even though you're like, oh, but Matt, like all this is blue, you know what? This is still consistent. These little bottle rockets, all of these were made blue with red caps. The one that was different has a red cap, but there's the red stripe as well. This is still very much a reasonable attempt. Killer Raven still took time to click into the different cells because I do the initial coloring to test it as well. I know how long it takes, and I know the things you have to look for without there being a bunch of little white splotches everywhere. And even so, I think I even left these white because I'm like, oh, this is snow falling down. But Karma took them as lights to light up. And I love that ingenuity. Or in this case, here we have a very, I guess, 90s style Ma Rennie. We have our acid purple and green. I love it. And so, yeah, the different takes on things. Of course, Killer Raven's putting his logo in the explosion. It's creative. It's fine. I really enjoy it. Heretic here, again with the physical media. We have Yedna out in the sun because she's enjoying the winter her own way by being in the southern hemisphere. So shout outs to those of you more equatorial or in the southern hemisphere, like in Australia. Around this time of year, you can still go swimming in the Gulf of Mexico, and you're like, that's it's not too bad, huh? Meanwhile, you can't jump in Lake Erie because it's frozen over. So here is Kragar coming in. Now, Kragar was a little bit more modest with the Goblin. While the Goblin certainly has a bit of a body positivity aspect to her. I mean, she's just buoyant and jovial. So it's she's not doing it for the cause or the sake, but she just is like, hey, I am who I am. I want to paint stuff. I want to color. I want to just go out and live life and eat good food. So she's very jovial in that regard. So Kragar gives her a bit of um a little bit of a cover up here, and that's perfectly fine as well. Because the only thing I ask for is if you're going to modify the image in some way, or you do custom layers and colors, just at least keep it safe for work. Arguably, he kept the goblin safer for work than I did. So kudos to you, Kragar. Kragar the Kragarian. Then we have our kind of a mint green Ma Rennie here with a nice contrasting orange. And you said you're going for gumdrops on the sweater. So your take on that, yeah, your take instead of snow, like little pom pom snow puffs, like little cotton puffs, or lights that lit up on the gross Christmas sweater were candy drops. It's creative. I love it. You know what, Mage? I probably could go swimming in Lake Erie by the water outlet to Davis Bessie. And similar for reasons why manatees love hanging around power plant like water drainage because the water's warm after going through the steam boiler, right? So Davis Bessie is a nuclear power plant here, closest to Sandusky, and so I'm sure that where their warm water returns back out to the lake, you could probably go swimming there, and the water might be might be cool. Um, in the verbiage of Seinfeld, though, I'm sure there's still going to be shrinkage. So here we have another Kragar piece. I'm gonna have to look for your name. Where'd you hide it? This is a hide and seek. There it is. It's up here in the string. It's right up here. But look at this. We have beautiful parrot colors, and I've noticed over time you've consistently and you've really enjoyed portraying Altir. That's the name of our Griffin mascot, Altir. You've enjoyed portraying Altir as this kind of at least mostly canary yellow, although going for the parrot colors and sort of spectrum is nice too. And then we have for a very classic purple for Carrie Dismuth, otherwise known as Carrie, the simple country girl who's fallen for the slick city guy this Christmas time. Yeah, Mage, I think doing a polar plunge at some point in time, it would be fun. It'd be exhilarating. And, a lot of that stuff is done for charity, too. So if you find one of your choice, a good cause and it's a fun life experience. If you find one, Mage, I'll tell you what, let me know, and maybe we can consider doing it together. Speaking of bathing here, people break the ice here and swim under the ice with safety instructors and equipment, but without swimsuits, akin to in Russian cold places. They call it winter bathing here, but it really means ice bathing. Meanwhile, you could also just dialed. You could also just like go into a sauna on a snowy day, and oh, that sounds so comfy. Well, then, yeah, Bane, you get out in 6 months, just in time for summertime, right? So Karma is uploading her take on our beach episode here. Um, I love the translucent the translucence given to the image through coloring, so you can kind of see the sky around here. You can see where the glublin has congealed a bit more to act as a little bit better sun umbrella. I guess as long it can be translucent as long as it's filtering out the UV light, right? Maybe it's consuming it. Although I don't know, would a slime or a jelly get sunburnt or have some adverse reaction? I know many are underground dwellers, but could be a source of energy to feed upon, if not the mold and other things they eat. Looking really good. Love the rose tinted glasses and the kind of she's having there's the shading, but to me this is like she had a little bit of a romp on the beach. There's some sand on her. It's a nice day. She was out. Maybe she was running, or she has some friends there just doing some like volleyball or some shell hunting or whatever. Has some sand on her, and she's taking a break. You can see the texture here on the coconut as well. You can see the coconut fiber. Then Heretic is coming in here with our faded our faded Christmas couple in this Hallmark presentation. I love the progression of colors in the wing feathers. Very nice. Uh, Dan did such a good job on the slick the city slicker hair. He's the billionaire. He's the cold-hearted like corporate stock trader whose heart melts when he meets the country girl and learns the true meaning of Christmas, kind of a thing. uh, the slick hair, and it gets me every time. But excellent job, and I really like again, images you can feel. I can feel this image right now in my brain, Heretic. So excellent job there. Hunter's then kind of coming in with some last minute stuff. I like the um I like the what, like, shaved ice. Is that what you're going for? If you're still out there. Um but that's the impression I'm getting, is it's shaved ice on the beach, helping to keep Yedna, our wench here, cool during her summertime Christmas vacation, to whatever, like Australia or or even just to a more equatorial place, if you like a Texas or Florida or something for us in the U.S. And then we also have this retroactive coming in with what this is. Why am I forgetting? It's like like synthwave. This has some synthwave sort of feel to it here. Although I will say though, Hunter, kind of Lisa Frank, um, if this was this run through AI, because I like, if that was the interpretation AI did, but I don't know if I can count that as a reasonable attempt to color. Now I say this as someone who's done a lot of experimenting, especially this past year with it, because I want to learn it as a tool and use it as a tool. But if those entries with the um if those are entries that have like if these little crayons with the sparkle, if that's indicative that this was an AI thing, then I can't accept these because I can't say that that is a reasonable attempt, since that was not something that you did. Um, so we have our duo here. Check the tag. We're going for an eagle look here, it seems. Uh, and the I guess restoring her more to the classic elf in appearance. Her story, by the way, there's a lot of hints at it, especially with the last Liber Colorum entries that I talked about. But she wasn't always a Drider, so there's a lot there. Then we have a cyberpunk take on the uh, uh, frosted window panes. Zoom in on the signature in the first two. Well, yeah, yeah. There's that. I just it's the crayon with the sparkles on it. Because on this with the crayon and the sparkles, and then this that has the crayon and the sparkles. I just I don't know if that was a watermark or something, because like the two sparkles. Well, yeah, yeah, yeah. I see that. I was just curious about the redundant crayon with the sparkles. Is all. Like I don't see him on here. And your Hunter is definitely on these. Clanker signature. What? All right, so I must be missing something then. What what is Clanker? Okay, all right. See that I don't know. I well I know that the Clanker, it could be like a junky robot, or there's a non PG-13 term that I believe applies to that as well. I'm going to leave that for you all to get on Urban Dictionary. Okay. So you said the computer was on the fritz, and so I'm like, oh, it was a joke, right? Your computer's being a clanker. That's what was going on in my mind because of the definition of that being like a jalopy, or something that is it's gone haywire, it's on the fritz kind of a thing. So Okay, nope, that's fine. The other ones that you have here don't have that watermark. Got it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's I. It's something. It was something to bring up, and I've discovered something new because I wasn't aware that that was a thing, and now I know. And then we have Batispada kind of squeezing in there with a last minute entry right before the entry is closed here, 2 minutes before the buzzer. We have the frosted window panes. This was very much a reasonable attempt. Now I know Bat also does art over on his channel, so he probably was able to get this up in it like on his drawing pad or something. We have a very pleasant green biddy, and then we have a very classic gray, more D&D style orc here for Awe, the store ghost. I love the thrown in shadows. Even so, something like this, and you all have seen it with Heretic Trance as well. Even if it's just a little bit, right? It's just that one extra little layer around something, or only along the edges. That can do a lot to convey whatever it is you're trying to do. Flat colors, especially for this, flat colors are acceptable. Going that little bit extra for the shading, or if you wanted to play with like a sand texture, or here, like I said. In fact, if you look at all the extra, little like kind of detail squiggles or texture squiggles as well. And my hope was always that for those of you who participated in this, it would let you experiment or try new tools or just try to do something you haven't done in a while. Like, when was the last time many of us have ever opened up Paint and, I don't know, done a fun little just click through like this? But for those of you who are here, there's only 6 of you. There were 4 categories. Usually I'd hand out 5 prizes. There were enough of you that made a reasonable attempt here that for all of you, well, in this case, Castle's prize, I guess I will hand out to someone else when we're doing. So in that case, it was kind of 5 prizes to 5 entrants who can receive the prizes anyway. Pardon me. So it wasn't me just being a big old softy and giving in. There was still it was still would function exactly as it would. Um, Excellent. And I'm gonna actually tag. Thanks to all who entered. At Dan the Art Man will give some uh, commentary at some point soon. Excellent. Oh, it was in reflections. Oh, that was, yeah, that was. And so actually, speaking of 2025 content, so we've closed that, and I appreciate those of you who participated earlier, last minute. That's fine. Um, 2025 content is now going to be. Actually, I should make a new category, but we're going to archive this. Edit category, permissions, roles, archivist. And now, as we take a look, there's. Let's see. Did that actually change anything? Oh, everyone cannot view. Send messages. All this stuff. But oh, you know what? You'd think I've done this a couple times, but archivists can view the channels. But archivists um cannot send messages or create posts. And there we go. All right. And now I will create a 2026 category and we'll start putting in clips and other moments there. But now, if you want to see the 2025 stuff, that is now archived with the other super secret channels that are hidden. All right, this is what I'm going to do. It is time to take a quick break. I need to refresh myself as I am almost out of liquid refreshment. So let's get up, stretch our legs, go to the bathroom if you need to, grab a snack, a drink, etc. Pet your dog or cat or I guess significant other if there's one nearby who needs petting. And we'll be back in about 10 minutes. And then we'll continue because I have some other prizes that I need to give out. We got to go through our top 20 experience point holders. I got to calculate my golden goblins, and then we'll go to random.org and we'll do some fun stuff there. So hold on tight, everyone. We'll be right back, and we have more to discuss, more to explore, and things to talk about and just enjoy. Let's enjoy each other's company tonight, right? Here we go. It's winter time. We did have everyone together for Christmas, New Year's, etc. That one goes up after Thanksgiving and lasts until after New Year. But now we're back. People have come and gone. And we're back in our normal wintertime break screen. returned if you have returned. You promise that you're back? I hope so. We got some business to get to. All right. Here's my scene. You have turned and returned even. Welcome in. There we are. All right. So we have our entries for the grand finale of our coloring book, at least our steady stuff. Again, I expect some coloring book stuff to come around during Halloween. Whether or not I make it an event, I might just kind of open it up to you all and say, hey, you want to do something with it, have fun, but it's voluntary. There's no pressure, there's no time limit. It's just here are the mascots. A year has passed since last Halloween. What are the movies, comics, pop culture references, memes, and just sort of things that happen in our world over the course of that year, right? What's your other question after Fav? You can see the concept art for our memorial. It is here. And maybe there's one or two characters that you can kind of make out, who or what they are, or what the reference is. But this is the concept art, and you'll see the refined stuff. You'll be amazed how quickly this all comes together here soon. So we have that. Of course, I showed the preview that the mascots are getting a little bit of a refreshed look to them. They're going to have official reference pages with color palettes and all that. You'll be able to, their biology is on display. Well, this is the PG-13. There's a version of the character references that are for artists only. We'll put, in case it's, we don't need the dress up doll version. If you want to know the anatomy of the character and then you're going to dress them or pose them, and you as an artist are, you'd rather work with the natural configuration of the mascots, that version is being made as well. So you have the mannequin to go along with then whatever, if you're doing a project and you want to put them in goth clothing again, right? Well, this may not be the reference you want to use as an artist. And so instead you'd want the alternate version of Ma Rennie the dragon. Yeah, the life drawing version. It's those versions are meant to be, actual art reference sheets. So it's tasteful. There's nothing, I'm not going to post them publicly, but they're tasteful. And they're the art drawings, right? Or the life drawings, I mean. Someone goes to an art class, they sit still for a couple hours in a various pose and state of clothing, and everyone kind of does their thing in the art class. They go home being culturally enriched. So there we go. If you melt dry ice, can you swim without getting wet? That plays into aspects of sublimation. I don't know if you want to swim in a sea of carbon dioxide. Oh, ads, yeah, ads just started. All right. Well, while there's ads, have a good night, Mage. Uh, yeah. Um, while there's ads, I'll pull the top 20 EXP holder list and get that going. All right, I'm over at Streamlabs. We're going to go look at... Actually, that part is managed through Stream Elements, I believe. Pardon me. wonder, can I reduce that down? Excellent. Now let's snip. And we're going to edit this. New. No, wait, not new. We're going to open this up in Paint. And we need to cross out I cannot. I'm the #1 EXP holder. Who'd have thought? Bane is a mod, so he doesn't count. Sierra Echo's a mod, and he cannot count. Coffee Stream Bot cannot count. Any other? Raven cannot count. Okay. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Now we're going to save this. We're going to call this Winter Quarter 25. And I'm going to drop this over in our Discord. Winter Quarter 2025. Top 20 EXP holders. Okay. And actually, I can even drag this. I should be able to drag this over here. So there's our top 25. In what I uploaded over to our Discord. Whoops. Over on our Discord, myself, Coffee Bot, and our 3 mods are scratched out. Otherwise, that would be unfair. So we have the top. Well, I thought you were being a vampire, Raven. Yeah, get back to the game. Get out of here. So the top 20 are over on our Discord. I made sure to edit the names in Paint so we know who's who. And we're at random.org. And we're going to generate a number between 1 and 20. And we're going to see who wins Winter Quarter 2025. Number 10. And number 10 is Xbox Aaron. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. 7 because of the editing. I got to look at the red numbers. 10 is Lucius. There you go. You willed it into existence, Lucius. So congratulations. Let's tag you at Lucius is the winner of the quarter. Congrats. Okay, and now here we go. Are you all ready? It has been done. I'm sorry, I guess that wouldn't be winter. That would have been autumn. Because now we're in winter of 26. There we go. Now I need to calculate Golden Goblin's Heretic Trance. Thank you very much. You become a Golden Goblin. You become a Golden Goblin when you do something generous for the community. Gift a sub, donate money or bits to the bits over 100 to the channel. If you're a booster, if you're a server booster. So I'm going over to my server settings. As long as I can, yeah, I don't think there's anything on the back end here that would be really. Let's go roles. And we're looking at Golden Goblins, manage members. All right, so the Golden Goblins that we have and this is over in Stream Labs, not Elements. For right now, I'll put that art back up as a placeholder. And let's get some music playing also. That way we're all just not sitting here listening to my crummy old voice. Let's see. I'm over at Tabletop Audio. War wagon rumbling across the plains, leaving destruction in its wake. There we go. No, Heretic, I got what you were. I got what you were going for. That was just for the that was for the experience points, but I got you. Don't worry. All right, let's take a look. So I mean, you were a Golden Goblin even before for the fall quarter at the end of 25. So we have Sierra Bane. Are getting added in. Let's check. So that's on gifted subs. Within that, within the last. So it would have been after September. So October, November, December, and a little bit into January. But if we go back 4 months, the gifted subs. There's one from Valorant, which I guess was a site-wide thing. That the game Valorant was like matching gifted subs, so I can't really give a prize to Valorant. Because it was Heretic Trance then, also going back that far. Raven gifted a sub. Actually, that was a gift over to Coffee Cat. So we have Raven and Jacance as well. And DQ. Come up and say hi to everyone? Come on. Don't just paw my leg. Come here. Come on, Richie. Come on, bud. Nope. You're just gonna be like that, huh? Alrighty. Xbox Aaron, Overlord Chameleon, I had someone named Frandy and Friends who left a tip, but I think that was just a generous raider who ended up taking off, because I don't see a Frandy and Friends in our Discord. Let's see. Evil Intent is also in on this too. Who are my boosters? Daily Delport, Dr. Knockboots, Queenie Time Max. Heretic, you're in there too, but I mean, you can only be a Golden Goblin once. Daily Delport, Doctor. Millions there, Heretic Trance, me, James, Queenie, Time Max. All right, those are our boosters, the people who cheered, and those who gifted subs. Or otherwise, supported the channel through a direct tip to keep things going here. That gives us 15 golden goblins for autumn quarter 2025. I have a solid baritone voice, so perhaps after Fob. I hum now and again, or I might sing in the car when I'm all alone and no one can hear me. All right, now we're going to edit this in Paint, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So we're going to save this as Golden Goblin Ball 2025. And we're going to share this over in Table Talk. At Golden Goblins, this is the list for Fall 25. Going to roll for the quarterly prize now. All right, now we're going to go back to random.org, and instead of 1 through 20, I'm going to randomly generate a number between 1 and 15. So you all are watching it happen live on random.org. And so here we go, generate number 2, and that is daily. So Conga Rats 2 daily on winning the Golden Goblin prize for the prior quarter. Now, for you all out there, if you boost the Discord server, you are a Golden Goblin. So, you know, when I'm doing these tallies, you know, if you're a booster here, you are selflessly directing your resources to make the server better. That makes you a Golden Goblin. For those of you who cheer bits to keep the channel going, to keep the positivity flowing, that makes you a Golden Goblin for the quarter. If you give subs to other people, then you're a Golden Goblin as well. So now, as I go back over to Discord, I'm going to go back to the role. We have server settings. We're going over to roles. And we're going to go to Golden Goblins. Daily Delport Doctor, Encyclo Heretic. Here's a Matt. James Lion Time Max. Alright, so Bane is dropped. DQ for Winter Quarter 26. Evil Intent. Jacance Raven. Sierra. And Xbox Aaron. So that leaves us starting with 8 golden goblins. In fact, you know what I'll do? What I've done for the entries for the Liber Colorum, the coloring book before, every 10 entries was 1 prize, and then from 11 through 20, 21 through 30, it would provide another prize. As we had 15 golden goblins, I'm gonna generate one more number. Pardon. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dr. Knockboots. At Dr. Knockboots also won a prize from above, as there were 2 to give out and not just 1 for fall 25. There we go. And then let's give them some conga rats. All right, so golden goblins have been reset. Experience points have been reset. Now, I'm going to do something that I haven't done in a while. And I am going to open up... I'm going to open up a giveaway. Now, the giveaway, there's a couple considerations. The giveaway are going to be for the 2 prizes that Castle cannot receive, as he is an international order and the juice isn't worth the squeeze for the international shipping to him. So I have 2 generous handfuls of minis to send to someone else other than Castle. So to get in on this when I open it up, yeah, Bane. Okay. What can I do with half a C note? Like prize-wise? Are you asking me personally? I'm sure I could origami it into a swan or something, but... Uh-oh. Well, Bane is a golden goblin. Confirmed.
Dissing.
I do have prizes. I do have prizes downstairs that I can grab. So this would be a just trust me.
Barbaric rage and unrelenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
My happiness at your cheering has skewed my ability to comprehend math, so I might be a little bit over budget for the 50, because Heretic Joy has filled me with cheer. Nothing stupid. Alright. Boy, do I still have this text? I don't know if I haven't run... Oh my gosh, I haven't run a giveaway in a long time. Alright, so we have... I'm gonna have to create a text for this. I understand. I will be budget conscious, okay? I promise. Alright, we're gonna add text. We're gonna call this... what did we call it before? It was like a giveaway amount? Prize budget. We're gonna make this Yeller. Let's get our... you know what? I'm gonna do this. I have to reset the goals anyway. So we're gonna move our prize budget here. Okay. In fact, we're gonna call this a giveaway TTRPG prize budget. I will not get too silly, okay? I will not get too silly. I have cool stuff, but I'm not going to give away $300 on $60 of budget. I promise. Now, if any of you wish to add to this, you may, okay? The more that goes in there, the more and or bigger prizes I can include in the giveaway. And if you donate to, you know, to the pool, that makes you a golden goblin, because you may not win something, but you're helping someone else win TTRPG stuff. And I have a lot of stuff. In fact, did I write up prizes on these? Hang on a second. Those are probably old prizes. So I may not have the capsule machine ready for this one, but if this is fun and you all like it, then we can do this again. So we have our giveaway TTRPG prize budget is currently 60. Notice me, there is currently a giveaway going on with a prize pool of 60 that may increase, especially if you all add to it. I have plenty of TTRPG stuff, TM, to give away, and needs a good home. You're welcome to pop by to enter when it opens shortly, and or contribute some muns to the pool for more / bigger prizes to go out. Those who do contribute will become golden goblins for winter quarter 26. And let's get a snip. We're going to share that snip. Okay, there we go. Word is out. Now, I was running these through Stream Elements. So let's pull this over here. Just in case there's something I forgot and it shouldn't be on stream, although I don't know if that's the case. Streaming tool, is it under tools? No, that's overlays. Settings, store, giveaways. Here we go. Oh my gosh. The last giveaway we did was 10 months ago for the spring giveaway. Okay, I think I can put this over here. All right, we're gonna say first time in a long time is the name of the giveaway. Everyone gets their first ticket for free, so it costs 0 for 1. There's never been subscriber luck. Everyone has an equal chance. Now, remember to enter 2 things. Number 1, you must be 18 plus. Not that the content that I have to give out is adult in nature. It
Thanks
just
for
keeps...
supporting the Hero Zone Sierra Echo.
Oh, hey. Thank you for doing so. And you know what? That's actually the first time that the coffee bot has been used. So I'm glad that's working as well. Thank you for helping me test it. There's never been subscriber luck. You have to be 18 plus. Again, not that it's adult content, but I just would prefer, we're talking about shipping stuff out to you and tracking numbers. I want everyone to be an adult in the room. 2, if you live outside of the US, you are responsible for the shipping costs, and if there's any import fees your country puts on the prize, you're responsible for it. If you're in the US, I will pay the shipping and I'll get you a tracking number. If you're outside, you assume that responsibility. So if you're outside the US and you do not want to pay for international shipping, then do not enter. Because then you're getting a prize that someone else could have won, or you'll tell me that you'll just give it to someone else. Well, I'll have to re-roll, but then why did you enter, right? So 18 plus, free domestic shipping, but it's out of your pocket to get it to you outside the US. This is going to be called first time in a long time. Everyone gets 1 ticket for free, and this would be by typing !! ticket or enter. Description. I have a lot of stuff, TM, that needs a new home. Help me do just that, please. Here we go. We are going to create and start. And look at this. So, you should be able to see your names show up. Now, unless they change this on the site, this will cap at 10. So everyone may not necessarily show up. Just as a heads up. But we'll keep this open for a little bit, and we'll see what happens here. In fact, something that we can do to buy you all some time to get in on this first time in a long time giveaway we have going on. And actually, I need to update the. Hang on, before I do anything else. There we go. I just got my first coffee support. This is up to $85 in prizes. So thank you very much for adding into that. And let me find. I want to find a thing. That's right, a thing. Now that's the thumbnail. Those were the entries. Interesting. So that's not it. Is it here? Let's see. That's when I was using Streamlabs OBS. Those are the slobs assets. You know, looking through a lot of this older stuff, I wonder if there's not I wonder if there's not art that I've missed somewhere along the way and that I actually didn't end up posting. That's the intro. That was the intro to Chroma Company. Ooh, talk about a memory. Jade Story. I don't know. A couple of these are animatics that I can share. These are memories, but in particular, I am looking for. I'm looking for one. Let's Seltzer Story. Twist of Fate. That's a good one too. Not that one. Not that. Wonder if I didn't just put it on a. If I didn't just end up putting it on an external drive or something. I'm looking for the big Tiamat cinematic that we made here in our community for our last big event, just to kind of share a memory of something that we made, and I'm not finding it on the OneDrive I'm looking. Well, Goldern. I'm gonna do one more broader search. There's some old broadcasts back from when the channel had its original name. I wonder when that was dated to. That was a Call of Cthulhu workshop. Interesting. You know what? This might just be saved on another drive. And here I thought I was going to be prepared. When would that ever happen? Nuts to that, huh? That's my demo reel from when I got on the front page in the affiliate the affiliate anniversary. Ooh, that was a long time ago. My goodness. Yeah, easier said than done. I have an idea. I'm gonna do a thing, and you all can't stop me. You fools. I am going to simply re-download them. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. You all can't stop me. Can't stop, won't stop. All right. If we're going to have a giveaway, and we'll close entries after the movies play, but especially if you all are, if you're newer here and you weren't around for our original Tiamat event, our big story event where we're creating a story with our mascots, and you all out there with a your character here insert. And as a manifestation of the art projects that we do, especially animatics, I am going to play for you the story about our last event, just to showcase. You know, it's a revisiting for those who've been around for a while, and if you're new, I hope you'll find it's cool. This is the event intro. I'm gonna play the intro and then the big finale, and when those finish, then we're going to we're going to have our giveaway polls. And in the meantime, if you all want to contribute $5, $10 into it, the bigger the prize pool gets, the more prizes and or bigger prizes I can hand out at the end when I seal off entries. But let's do this. In fact, I'm going to make this bigger, because while this is playing, I am going to while this is playing, I'm going to refresh myself and check up on what I have. All right. We saw that the mascots were gathered together. Tiamat was on the rise once more after their first fight with her. And so they needed to go make sure that she wouldn't manifest in the world again and cause bad stuff to happen. Unfortunately, the mascots, as is what happens in these stories, get their asses kicked. However, through one last surge of life magic, Altair the Griffin is able to pull everyone down into the ground before Tiamat smushes them all. And they end up on a beach somewhere. Everyone was scared of them. No one knew where they came from. But the life magics that pulled them through the earth ended up restoring the store ghost back to life. She is alive once more. And as we saw, she looked down and she has legs and feet and a heartbeat. And she's not flying around. So small miracles. However, things, at what cost? They were driven from their homeland. Tiamat is back at home, presumably manifesting in that old crumbling temple. Her cultists of humans and kobolds are doing things while they're cast off somewhere. They're alive, but evil is taking root in the land. And now, for the conclusion, over the course, during this event, that was the intro. Pardon me, that was the intro. Then there was a series of weeks in between where scenes were released as coloring book pages with a your character here style to them. So you could find the mascots and go on this adventure to find out what's happening, gather their strength, and well, we'll see what happens. Hopefully you enjoy it. Again, if you've been around, you've probably seen this before, and you're like, all right, Matt, that's quaint. If you're new here, I hope that you enjoy it. Whether it's cool, whether it's hokey, a little bit of both. These are things you all can do at your tables. Actual tabletops like heads up tables or virtual otherwise. I'm going to play the second part, and as I do, I am going to go and I grabbed a drink, but I'm going to go grab prizes to the current budget, a little bit over in case there's any last minute contributions to the total. If not, that's cool. We'll play with 85 as our giveaway budget. If not, I'll bring a couple extra things up from downstairs, and I'll make sure to include those. For sure, we have castles, 2 handfuls of minis, and then whatever I'm going to pick out of this $85 budget. Okay, everyone? So, the conclusion, like the resolution to what we saw, the mascots almost dying and getting their butts kicked. Now they need to re-strengthen, reform, and we'll find out what happens in this last part. So excuse me while I go grab some prizes.
see the sun above me. How'd it get so blue? Floating down a dark and slowly. Memories push through, creeping, and all I see are faces staring back at me. Sinking to nowhere, not sure where to go from here. I'm breathless without air. I'm feeling a little hazy now. I'm longing for somewhere, a world that has no fear. I just need some healing. I'm lost in oblivion, oblivion. I hear my heart still beating. It must be holding on, surrendering my feelings that I thought were gone. Creeping and all I see are faces staring back at me. Sinking to nowhere, not sure where to go from here. I'm breathless without air, feeling a little hazy now. I'm longing for somewhere, a world that has no fear. I just need some healing. I'm lost in oblivion, oblivion. Oblivion. I open up my eyes for the first time in a long time, and I can see where I need to be. I can see where I need to be. Sinking to nowhere. Not sure how I got here. Breathless without air. Time I go now. I need to go somewhere. Somewhere without fear. A place I've never been, where I find myself again. A place where I can find myself again. Oblivion.
Do the impossible, see the invisible. Row, row, fight the power, touch the untouchable, break the unbreakable. Row, row, fight the power, power to the peeps, power for the dreams. Still missing piece, scattering so incomplete. We be that once incredible soldier from underground. See how easy they all fall down. Digging through the core to see the light. Let's get out of here, babe. That's the way to survive. Y'all top of the head. I'm on the set. Do the impossible. Don't you wanna bet? Cause a lot of things change. We be waiting in vain. If you wanna get by, no pain, no gain. Wow, fakers wanna test me again. Sorry, my rhyme's gonna snatch your brain, yo. I'm so stormy for the straight up skill. We gonna make it happen with a crazy rap skill. You ready to rumble? Now is the time, If you ain't know, now you know. Good luck. dedicates to the real peeps. What we gotta say is so real thing, cause revolution ain't never gonna televise. Kicking a man flow, microphone phenotype, opening third eye, seeing through the overground. I'm about to hit you with a scream from underground. Whole city's covered with a cyber flavor cheese in the area. We're now the toughest in
Now hold on a second. Wait, just a gold darn. What was that flash? Wait a minute. Stop it. I don't know why I can't seem to find it. I don't know. It's there, I promise. But no! The stupid little bar got in the way. It's right at the 4-second mark too. And for whatever reason, the slider, despite this being a pretty big presentation, oh no, I just had it! Ah, I'm terrible. All right, well, if any of you wanted to clip it, if you are at all curious, there were some clues dropped, hither and yon. But yeah, I hope that you all, if that was your first experience, you're like, yeah, it's cool. These are the types of things that I like doing. Telling stories, discovering new systems with you, like TTRPG systems, challenging ones that we've already played. Chroma Company for sure was not a standard issue D&D game. There was a lot to lean into that would be, sort of what you'd expect from a D&D campaign, but there was a lot of stuff in there that it defied the norm, and it really made it ours. And there's a whole slew of other animatics. There are things I could play, but not right now because we have a giveaway to get to. But through inspiration comes art, motivation, and it just comes right back around to continue to inspire us to think and create. And then by doing these incredible things in our games, that just spawns more imagination and art and music and all this other stuff. It's a wonderful process that for the past 2 years has been unfortunately put on a back burner. Man, I really hope in 2026 here we're getting there. If we hit 4K followers 2 years ago in 24, maybe we could get 5K this year. And if so, I will give you a really cool presentation. I'll give you a nice story arc with the mascots, and they're going to do incredible stuff. We'll have a great presentation. Of course, I'll be hiring local artists here in our community to help out with that too. And it's something that I always want you to be proud of this place. Whether it is cringe or hokey, or maybe I make a salient point now and again, or you just like the company, even if you're a lurker, or or you say hi and then you kind of fall back, or if you're active in chatting or whatever. I want you to find a home away from home here. And I hope with your all's help, you will continue to refine who I am, what I present, the things that I think about and how I process it. You'll hold a mirror for me to reflect on myself, and I'll be able to present to you and even hold a mirror up for you all to challenge you to think differently or to try something new that you never had considered before. All right, well, enough of that sappy stuff. Let's wipe the tears out of our eye. I'm not crying, you're crying. But man, I actually was kind of weepy there because it's been 2 years already, and I've done a lot of reflecting, especially over Christmas time and New Year's. I done an awful lot of reflecting on things, and going back and seeing time capsules like that really, it helps keep things in perspective, and I'm really appreciative of all of you who've been along on the journey for you 5 minutes tonight for your first time or for the past 5+ years. All right, we have a goodly amount of people who have entered. In fact, what happens if I better not dump everyone. No. All right, we have 12 people who have entered. And so yeah, exclamation point ticket or enter to get in if you haven't. You got to be 18 plus, and if it needs to be shipped out of the country, you're responsible for it. I will find the best rate possible. I will quote it to you, and you can, and then you can choose. You want it like super expedited UPS, or are you okay with like USPS kind of snail mail by comparison? But yep, those are the conditions. We have 12 people currently. We have an $85 budget for prizes, and it just well, not necessarily. We have 2 prizes that are deferred from prior events because Castle was an international shipment, and he said, you know what, find a home for people for my prizes among other people. And then with the 85, I actually have I have 3 prizes. If we can get to, yikes, that last one's kind of a big box. If we can get to 150, I have another prize I can throw in. But right now, I have 3 prizes to add to the 2. So 12 have entered, 5 will win. I have a bigger 6th prize, but I would need to get to at least 150 in that in the budget above in order to include it. So if any of you out there are feeling generous, you can throw in on it. Otherwise, if you're like, you know what, 5 is plenty, we can keep it there, and we'll pull names going forward. So the first 2 names that I'm going to pull, this will be for the bountiful handfuls of minis. Okay, your name comes up, then I will communicate with you through Discord. If you're not on our Discord, please join it. I'll communicate with you through Discord, and I'll find out what are you looking for. If you say, hey, give me a handful of cultists, I will go through all of the D&D minis that I still have from the office and such, and I will pull for you a handful that would be like a good cult, right? Or if you say, can you give me some flying monsters? I'll give you a bevy of flying monsters. The handful is a generic term. Like you're going to get more than 3 minis, less than 10. Maybe I'll give you a couple larges and some smalls or whatever. I'll be good with it. And if you don't believe me, you can ask the people up here. I've been doing this for years, and they yell at me because I always give away too much. Because I'd rather be safe than sorry, right? I'd rather make sure that you all have some cool stuff for your tabletop. So we're going to close the giveaway. And we are going to draw winners. So the first 2 are going to be for the handful of minis, okay? Here we go. The first is Heretic Trance. So Heretic, you get a handful. And the next is Sierra Echo. Echo. Sierra, you also get a handful. All right. The first prize here. Yeah, rigged. Y'all don't need to be a subscriber to have access to those BTTV emotes, by the way. If you type in rigged, that icon should show up in the chat for you. Although, if you don't already have that browser extension, install it. It's actually a subscription I pay for that gives you all a bunch of extra emotes. All right, this is a Cerarax treasure. It's kind of a blind bag pull. It's 1 random dice set, 1 ability coin, and a D&D dice bag. So we have a sealed Cerarax treasure random dice set. This is from Adjust Spectacles, Dungeons and or Dragons. I guess you get to choose which team that you're on. So if you're Team Dungeon or Team Dragon, I hope that this set will work for you. The winner of the Cerarax treasure bundle is Kragar, the Kragarian. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Next up, and actually, now we can prepare rigged because I don't know if this is going to be the case, but you're watching me draw the names live. Chameleon, last night at Cyberpunk, you were talking about running an animal campaign for the Dungeons and/or the Dragons, and it reminded me that I actually have from the original Kickstarter the Tales of Cats and Catacombs. So these are adventurer character miniatures that are cats with like big adventuring backpacks or like a wizard staff and stuff. This is still sealed in the original Kickstarter exclusive box. Pardon, from Steam Forged Games. So, the winner of Cats and Catacombs, and Chameleon, so help me if you win, this has got to be rigged. We're going to hit draw another winner. It's Bat Espada. Although, Chameleon, I'm sure that you could threaten to bully Bat Espada into giving this up if you wanted some cat adventurers. But congrats to Bat Espada on the Cat Adventurer minis. Now, lastly, and again, I have one more prize. I'll even be cheeky and reveal it if that might push things over the top. I have this wonderful like alternate or like rarer cover of the original Palladium fantasy role-playing game. Has a beautiful red foil to it. Gorgeous art. And of course you can expect a lot of like old school style drawings in there as well. Very shint. I agree, Chameleon. Very shint. The Mighty Woolly Dragon. It is kind of woolly, actually. Demons and Devils. Oh, that's a cute little guy, actually. So, this is... Not everything is D&D and fantasy. You want a venerable system that's been around, that was, OS before OS became R? Here we have Palladium. It's the Cats and Catacombs Adventurers. I got that from and that set is from the original Kickstarter. It's still sealed in the box. So they're little kind of like one inch scale plastic minis you can paint of like a monk cat, so it'd have a robe on and stuff. But they're cats, not anthropomorphized. They're cats. But they're very very unique minis. And so the winner of the Palladium fantasy role-playing game is none other than this person, who is totally not a mimic. Ravenstar. That's rigged. Yeah, that's... Oh my god, that is so rigged. That is grossly rigged. You can give some conga rats and stuff there. Now, this is the big ask. I am willing to draw one more prize, but we need... let's see, that would be 5... We need $65 thrown in to bring it. No, wait, $75 thrown in. No, can I not math? It's 15 to 100. Yeah, 15 plus 50 is 65. Before I close this giveaway, if we get to at least 150, I have the variant box for BattleTech Mercenaries. You want to learn a new system, or you already play and you say, oh, whoa, the collector's edition, along with a poster set. So this is like the alt cover, the variant cover. This is the collector edition Mercenaries box for Bordeltonk. It comes with all of this plastic to paint. And, you know, of course, you can play Battletech in all different ways. This is a big prize. $150, it's not overly generous, so you don't need to bonk me, but it is still generous for the budget. And if it doesn't go tonight, we'll find a home for it one way or the other. But if you want to learn to play Bordeltonk, or you already play and you say, yo, ho ho, I could build some lances or stars with those. Well, I mean, they're mercenaries, so it's not quite as organized as those two factions. All right, there's a going a once. There's a going a twice. There's a going a thrice. I'm going to screen clip the winners. Whoop. And hit finish giveaway. Giveaway complete. All right. I hope that this was fun for you all. That it was good to be back sort of in the workshop with me in the saddle here, having this conversational style, not me presenting a role-playing game or, you know, hunting a ghost. Those are fun. You know, those are fun. I kind of want to play the zombie quarantine game. It looks really neat. I was watching Derek play through it. It seems like a fun challenge. Because, you know, that sort of stuff, it's a spot the difference. It's a puzzle game, right? With neat elements to it. And that kind of tickles my own brain. Just as Phasmophobia, I love the puzzle aspect of that game. And, of course, there's the team effort. Quarantine is single player. Although you all in the audience, if I play, you all in the audience, I mean, if you're like, oh, hey, you got to watch out. There's that thing. Did you miss it? You didn't mark down red bruises. But if I play in endless mode, you in chat actually show up as people at there's like Checkpoint Alpha, I think is the name of the place. And so the Chameleon, you know, like someone would come up, you know, I'd say next please, and they'd come forward and I'd open up and I'd like check their, you know, like where they're from and their name, because there could be an outstanding issue with someone who's like a survivor and needs to be studied, or someone who committed a crime and needs to be put away. But then like Overlord Chameleon would be the name of the person that I have to scan and such. So yes, we did call rigged when Raven won. That is the time-honored tradition here at the Hero Zone. While it may have been a minute since our last giveaway, Bane, it's calling rigged during giveaways like riding a bike. It may have been a while, but you don't really, you know, you don't forget how to do that. So at some point I might play that. You know, if I do, whether I do it on stream or maybe I'll stream it. Don't forget that over on our Discord, we do have. Over on our Discord, let me open this up. When I play, especially if I play games with you all, that's behind the screen. You have access behind the screen and to Bardic Media and verbal components. Bardic Media it's not adult. It's not 18 plus, but, you know, more adult memes and humor. Because again, that there's still, I still keep it kind of family friendly. But if if you have a credit card and you're subscribing, there's a pretty good chance you're 18 plus. Not that anything is 18 plus in Bardic, but it's just that's where if you have spicy stuff, put the spicy humor. Whereas in memes, like our regular memes, that's for sort of all around humor, uh, contextual spiciness, in a sense. So if you're a subscriber here on Twitch or or a server booster, you get access behind the screen. And that actually brings me to one other thing too is this would not be on Twitch. So anyone watching on Twitch, you don't need to worry about it. But I did so happen to buy an external DVD player for my rig. I know physical media, an optical drive. And the reason why I've done this is I have a bit of an anime collection. And at one point in my life, at 2 points in my life, I have started anime clubs. I don't know if any of you would be interested, but having a fun little watch party, maybe on Discord of some fun anime on physical media, that might be a lot of fun to do. Of course, let me know your thoughts and ideas to get a little anime club going on the server, and that would be a thank you to those of you who are subscribers and/or those of you who boost the server. As more interaction, I do want this place to be very comfortable and accessible to those who don't have the spare cash for either of those things. You can still do fun things and get in on events like our giveaway, right? But there's some things like playing a video game with you, or maybe watching an anime title or something. That's that one extra little bit for those who are taking that next step forward, and I think that'd be a fun thing to do as well. So an optical drive in this economy, yep, it's a Blu-ray drive, even. So we'll see what I could make do with that. But it's another way to say thank you to you all. You've kept this place going, growing, and even afloat during the past really downward years. And I'm sincerely grateful. I hope you all know that. You understand it. You realize it. It's manifested. It's not just, oh, hey, thanks. And, then I go and I get in some like $250,000 vehicle and whatever. I'm not one of those types of streamers. But the little things, spending time together, playing video games together, playing tabletop role playing games, because I'll put out a solicitation for Alien RPG soon, sometime in February, or at least by February. I'm gonna want 4 or 5 people to step up and go through the opening scenario for the Alien RPG Evolved Edition rules, and I want to run that. And of course, I'll be running more Vampire this year too, at least one short story in Vampire. And we have our Cyberpunk Night City 64 ongoing campaign as well that will continue through the year, as long as the players can tolerate me in my own kind of goofy style. I don't know if there's really a standard way to run Cyberpunk, at least not conceptually like D&D seems to have. Although I'm fairly certain the way that I'm presenting Cyberpunk is not is not standard issue. But if they have the patience to put up with me, and maybe that gives them some interesting ideas or innovates on things, even if I mess up here and there, and we're all having fun, that's what matters. I'm sorry, After Fav. The Porsche I won off of you, I was, I ended up, I guess I ended up, like selling it or something, to fund my lavish lifestyle. Living in small town Ohio. In a 100-year-old house that needs repairs. Yep, that's big streamer hero zone here, right? All right. Well, it is 1:30. We've had a good run of things. And if I remember from what Ravenstar said after she won a prize in a totally rigged giveaway that you all saw happen live in front of you, it sounds like Coffee Cat Presents is still in
Yes.
Brisbane by Night, a Vampire the Masquerade game. So we're going to go raid into them. Raid Coffee Cat Presents. If you all need me, contact me on Discord. I'll be around. Dr. Knockboots, thank you for your support of the server, and hey, congrats on that Golden Goblin. I'll be contacting winners to talk about prizes and shipping and all that. I'll be doing that here soon and get everything shipped out that needed to go. Nice clean start, clean break for the new year in our Channiversary at the end of the month. Another year of broadcasting and spending time with you all. Thank you very much. This was a lot of fun. This was very heartfelt. I laughed. I even cried a little bit. And we had this unexpected giveaway. You all are absolutely amazing. And thank you for inspiring me. And I hope to be able to continue to inspire you. I'll come back on Wednesday with something. I'm not sure yet. Thursday's Comfy Gaming in Stardew Valley with Coffee Cat. And if any of you also play Stardew Valley and you want to hop in for a night of Comfy Gaming, let me know. Friday is Cyberpunk. And then Saturday, we'll see about Saturday. We'll see about Saturday. And then the last week of the month is the Channiversary week. And all will be revealed. Anyway, I'll see you over in Coffee Cat's channel for the VTM game set in Brisbane, Australia. Take care, everyone.